so glad you've come.
You know perfectly well you're not.
Oh, you got everybody to vote last year.
Yes, but who for? I saw them. Where's Claire?
Inside.
Ah, here's F.
Hello, George.
Hi, dear.
My dear. Claire, darling.
I'm so glad you're helping us, Lady Mont. We're giving you and dinner in the village while we go out to the farms.
I'm quite willing to shout to the deaf, shake hands with the dirty, but I cannot to the dumb. Oh.
Well, cheerio. Goodbye, Kitty.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Claire looks rather yellow. It isn't a baby, is it?
No, dear.
When I was in Ceylon, everyone was having babies. Even the elephants had them, and that takes 9 years, you know. Did Claire like Ceylon?
Not much.
Why not? Liver. She's very yellow, you know.
No, it wasn't liver, and she's not yellow. It's her husband.
Oh, he's liver then.
Auntie, you won't say anything except to Uncle Lawrence if I tell you. There's been a split.
I thought he looked liverish at the wedding. Anyway, there's too much difference in their ages.
He seems to be quite a cad.
Poor dear Claire. Has she a young man?
Oh, no.
Not on board ship. Oh, I planted that tree when I was 5. I would like to be buried under it, but I know they won't. They're sure to do something stuffy. Oh, look. I've often thought I'd like to be a goat.
Not in England. Tied to a stake and grazing in a mangy little circle.
Oh, no. One with a bell on a mountain. A he-goat for preference, so as not to be milked.
Do you realize what the last government has done? By indecision, bungling, and lack of courage, they've lowered our whole prestige in the eyes of the world.
Isn't that what Gladstone said in '98?
Oh, shut up, Ed. Do you realize that today this pound note is only worth 14 shillings?
I'll give you 14 shillings for it, Governor.
First results ought to be coming through soon.
What awful stuff they do play nowadays. Do they have that noise every night?
This is the first election result. Hornsey South. Major Drummond, Conservative, 29,743. Joseph Hill, Labour, 7,929. Conservative majority, 21,813.
By Jove, what a thumping majority.
But that's no triumph. Horns is always Conservative. Can't you get rid of that awful whistling noise, Claire?
No, leave it alone, for heaven's sake. You'll lose it if you're not careful.
It always makes that noise.
Lawrence does something to ours with a penknife.
David's in. Terrific majority. He's just telephoned me. Northwood, 12,324. Perkins, 4,561.
Fancy 4,000 people voting for a man named Perkins. What is the country coming to?
He's coming straight up before he goes to town. They're absolutely winning everywhere.
Thank heavens for that.
Oh,
Congratulations, Mr. Dornford.
Thank you, Mr. Perkins.
Now let's have a big cheer for David Dornford, MP for Conderford. Hip, hip.
Thomas Watts, Labour, 12,429. National gain from Labour.
This is something like.
Crushing. I'm sleepy.
you go up to bed, Auntie, and I'll put a slip under your door with the latest news when I come up.
Good night, dear. Well, that puts Perkins in his place anyway. My dear, tell Dornford the moment he gets into Parliament, he must do something about getting down the income tax. Or I shall be bankrupt before the end of the year, and that would be awful. Where are the cats?
Good night, David. Tell David how awfully glad I am, dear.
I shan't be long, dear.
You know, I always feel like Lady Macbeth when I go to bed with a candle. Oh, it's a lovely place, but so cold even in summer. Why don't you have some hot water pipes put inside the column? Nobody would notice, and it would make the place so very much more comfortable. Oh, I've got a pain. Oh, I must see my doctor tomorrow. I don't know whether it's flatulence or the hand of God.
Now, Em, you're old enough to know better.
You know, I shan't sleep a wink tonight. I shall have terrible nightmares. Perkins and prosperity.
Good night, darling. I'll send your tea at 10 in the morning.
Moonbeam, here. What's done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed, to bed.
Here's an old shipmate, Aunt Em. He's come to see Uncle Lawrence, Mr. Croom. My aunt, Lady Mont.
Ah, ships, of course. How do you do?
How do you do?
Tell me all about Ceylon, Mr. Craven.
Croom, Auntie. Tony Croom. You better call him Tony. It isn't his name, but everybody does.
Did you know her out there, Mr. Tony?
No, we only met on the ship.
Lawrence and I used to sleep on deck, but that was in the naughty 90s. That reminds me. I've rung up Claire's rooms. There's no answer.
She left me over an hour ago.
What's for dinner, Blaw?
Capon, my lady. A particularly fine bird.
Don't let us insult him. Let us eat him while he's hot. I'm certainly not going to wait. Sit down. You here, David. Dinner. Hope you've got something nice to go with the capon Blaw.
It's time we got hold of these antiquated marriage laws and scrapped the lot. They were all right in Queen Victoria's time, but such ideas are positively ridiculous today.
If I had my way, I wouldn't let a man marry a girl unless they could both prove they had no individuality at all.
That's not the point. The point is that the police can make rules, clergymen can write to the newspapers, judges can express themselves as they like. But human nature will find its own way about, as it did when I was cutting my wisdom teeth.
Auntie, would you excuse me? I must go and find out what's happened to Claire. Will you get me a taxi, Blaw?
Shall I come with you?
Oh, thanks, David. I'd rather go alone.
I've never known Claire do a thing like this. She must have had an accident. Where are you going, Dinny?
I'm going to Claire's rooms.
Well, Jerry's gone back to Ceylon. He sailed this morning. He's not the sort of man to let it hurt for long.
That's one thing in his favor. He doesn't hang about. I don't see how either of you are the better off for his going.
I'm never going back to him.
Never's a long time. And that Mr. Croom. I know you've got principles, Claire, but you're too pretty.
It's sweet of you, Aunt Em, but really I know what I'm about.
I promised my father not to marry for a year. 7 months, and then your uncle. There's always someone.
Well, I promised not to run wild for a year. I ought to know my own mind by then. If I don't, I can't have one.
The trouble is, one's mind has nothing to do with it, but cross your heart.
I'll cross what it ought to be.
Mr. Tony Croom on the telephone, my lady.
There, you see? Oh, why did I ever start this tiresome... Tell me all about the judge, Dinny. Did he have a long nose? And did he look like a tortoise?
No, but he sat very low in his chair and kept shooting his neck out.
Why?
I didn't ask him, dear.
What a pity. Go and have a long bath, Claire. Little nap, dinner in bed with a hot water bottle. Then you'll be nice and fresh for the judge in the morning. I suppose it'll all be in the papers tomorrow.
Bound to be. Jerry's a public man.
Not her address, I hope. And what about the young man?
Ah, yes, I'm sorry for Tony.
What a lovely line for the papers tomorrow. Night in a car.